Welcome to Minute with Myers. Today, we're going to talk about music and how so much music as an art form is born out of suffering, and how music can speak to our soul in a way that words alone seemingly will never do. Think about it. Our music, so much of it born out of suffering. Think of the blues or the old spirituals. Or I grew up in Nashville here, in the home of country music. And the old joke goes, the guy that played the country music song played it backwards. He got his dog back, his truck back, and he kept going till he got the love of his life back. And I love the way that Maya Angelou speaks about music. Music was my refuge. I could crawl into the space between the notes and curl my back to the loneliness. And I got to thinking about the difficult days and hard times all around us and that seemed to overwhelm us and make us weary, and thought about how much music can help that. In the Bible, in Acts chapter 16, Paul and Silas and company are in Macedonia. Make a long story short, you can go read that. They're thrown in prison, and while they are in prison, suffering, right? They've been beaten and thrown in prison, suffering, they are praying and singing hymns. And I always wondered, what was that hymn about? But I bet it had something to do with suffering and handling suffering and God having suffered on the cross and Jesus Christ for us. And then the Acts tells us that they went, once they finally get freed and they leave Macedonia, they go to Philippi. And in Paul's letter to Philippi, the Philippians, chapter 2, he quotes a hymn. And it's a hymn, catch this, about suffering and how Jesus handled suffering and how Christ got through that. And that kind of strength gives us as followers of Christ strength. So one of the earliest hymns in the church was about suffering. And Paul even quotes it in a letter to the church at Philippi. But how beautiful is that, a hymn shared? Because the art that comes from shared suffering gives us all strength. Music is our refuge. Amen.